Hey guys, got my cup of tea in my cat mug and we are going to chat about some new releases today, some new makeup releases. A lot of new things have come out lately and I'm just going to be talking about the things that have caught my eye, the things that I am not going to be buying, and also the things that I'm sort of thinking about and then I'm going to put on my wish list to maybe think about buying later. And I'm very excited that today's video is kindly sponsored by ShopTagger. I'm so excited to be working with them because I have actually been using this service for a while. I actually heard about them through some YouTubers that I follow that have worked with them in the past, and it's a really helpful service. There's a lot of different ways that you can use it, but what ShopTagger is basically a Chrome extension and also a mobile app that you can use to just help you shop smarter. So in order to use ShopTagger on your computer, you'll go to ShopTagger's website via Chrome and download the Chrome extension. And once you have that extension downloaded and you've created an account, anytime you're shopping online, the ShopTagger button will appear next to whatever item you're looking at, and you can save that item to any of your ShopTagger lists. So my favorite way to use ShopTagger is actually to basically keep my wish lists organized, whether it's makeup, skincare, clothing, cat stuff. I do have a cat wish list on there. I'm sure my cat moms out there can relate. And I also have like a home one. So those are the kind of different categories that I have. And whether I'm kind of window shopping online or browsing new makeup releases, I will put things that I'm interested in onto my ShopTagger wish list. And the really, really helpful thing about ShopTagger is, depending on your settings, you can either get an email or a push notification letting you know when an item that you've saved goes on sale. So sometimes I will save items that are like holy grails that are normally a little more expensive than what I would like to pay. I'll save them on there so that I can get alerted when it does have a price drop. And it'll also let you know if an item that was previously out of stock comes back in stock. I normally do my online shopping on my computer, but they do also have a mobile app that you can use, and it's super easy if you happen to spot something online that you want to save. If you have the app on your phone, you can just quickly save it directly from that retailer's website onto one of your ShopTagger lists. And if you are using ShopTagger on your computer through the Chrome extension, they do have another feature that will search the internet for coupon codes at checkout, and it'll just automatically apply those when you check out. And they also just launched a cashback feature where you can earn cashback via PayPal when you shop through different retailers. So lots of great features that they offer, and it honestly just helps me be more mindful with my shopping and not overspend. And a lot of times I'll go back to my wish list and kind of like declutter it a little bit and get rid of things that I know I've just decided I no longer want. As an example, I had the Briogeo Scalp Revival scalp scrub on my wish list for the longest time, and I was able to put it on my wish list for later, and honestly a couple months later I went back, and that was one thing where I was just like, I already know I have a much cheaper option that I love, so I ended up just removing that from my wish list, and I'm so glad that I put it on my wish list for later and just kind of let it sit there for a while so that later on I could kind of realize, like, you know what, I haven't thought about this in like 2 months, so I think that probably means I can safely remove this from my wish list. So that's my favorite way to use ShopTagger, and honestly has saved me from making so many like impulse purchases that I would have regretted later on. So I will link that all down below in the description box if you are interested in checking it out. So thank you so much to ShopTagger for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and get on into chatting about some new makeup releases. So the first new release that definitely caught my attention, I'm not planning on buying it, but it is the e.l.f. and Chipotle collab. Such a random collab, but seeing the photo of this pop up made me think, wait a minute, didn't they do a collab with Chipotle last year? I had completely forgotten about that until now, but I think it was around this time last year that they did a collab with Chipotle, but I don't remember hearing about it at all after seeing like the launch photos. And now that I'm looking for it, I can't find it online. I will try to find it and put a picture of it on the screen, but I just remember it was like a burrito-shaped sort of foil-looking pouch. I don't even know what the makeup products were, but did anyone try that first Chipotle collab? Did anyone hear anything about it after it launched? I have so many questions, but anyway, they came out with a round 2. But it's actually a really beautiful palette in my opinion. I think they did a great job. It's got a few different shaped pans, which I know that's probably not everyone's cup of tea. There's like 6 smaller pans and 6 like larger rectangular pans, but I really like it. I think the packaging looks really pretty, and I like the color selection. There's some greens, some sort of browns and taupes, some slightly like purpley shades, and orange. So it's a really pretty looking color story. They also came out with a Make It Hot lip gloss and a sponge set. And the sponge set looks so cute. It is the shape of an avocado, and there's like a larger green one and a smaller brown one that's meant to be like the pit of the avocado, which I think is adorable. I'll admit, for a moment there I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I should buy this, because I don't know, the avocado is what got me, honestly. And the palette also really spoke to me. I know that I love e.l.f.'s eyeshadow formula, and I was just kind of curious to try it out because I also love their Earthen Ocean palette. Well, speaking of the Earthen Ocean palette, as I often like to do, I challenged myself to look for dupes to these shades within my collection, and I was able to dupe about at least half of those colors with my Earthen Ocean palette. By the way, if you've been kind of following along the saga, I ended up having to get rid of my original Earthen Ocean palette because it was sitting in a basket that my cat peed in. She has this habit, if I leave out like a basket or a box on the floor, she thinks it's a litter box and she'll pee in it. It's just a silly habit that she's had forever, and it was totally my fault. I should have known not to leave a basket filled with eyeshadow palettes out on the floor, but I did, and I learned my lesson. But anyway, my friend Alex actually was decluttering her Earthen Ocean palette around the same time that happened, so I now have a replacement. So that was really just kind of serendipitous. Thank you, Alex, for sending this over. And as you can see, this has a lot of those greens and golds and taupes and browns. Now that I know that, I definitely cannot justify purchasing the Chipotle palette. And then the other just kind of neutral shades I pulled from my Sultry palette, but honestly just any neutral palette you probably have a matte brown, even that like corally shade I have in this palette. So, and then there's that one purple shade that I pulled from my Aether Amethyst palette. So anyway, I will not be buying this palette. I think it's such a random collab. I think it kind of works though. I think it's cute. I don't really quite get the obsession with Chipotle. I mean, I'll eat there from time to time, but it's not like my favorite restaurant or anything. Normally I'm not really into food themed collabs, but I think it was a good job. And can I just say, I really appreciate the shade names that they chose, because so all of the shade names are named after things that you could get at Chipotle: lettuce, guac, sofritas, hot salsa, so on and so forth, black beans. It's super cute. But I really appreciate that they are all like plant-based items at Chipotle. I would not want to put something called like beef or queso on my eyes. That's just kind of gross. All of these shade names are definitely making me hungry for a burrito bowl, but I won't be buying that. I think it's cute though, and I can appreciate it, and I think they did a really good job with it. Another new launch are the ColourPop Cheek Dews Serum Blushes. I do own a serum blush from Clove & Hallow. It's their Hydra Tint in Blossom. It's the one that I won't shut up about, and I love it. I'm sure I would love these. I don't know if I love the packaging. They are in a squeeze tube, and it looks like a really liquidy formula. So, and I've heard from other people too that they can be a little bit hard to control how much comes out. So I definitely love the packaging of the Clove & Hallow one. It's like basically like a nail polish bottle, but it's very easy to apply. And then another similar product that I have is the Flower Blush Balm. I have the shade Pinched, and this has a squeeze tube, but it's a really nice, like, narrow squeeze tube, so it's easy to control how much comes out because you can, like, see it coming through there. So I'm honestly not tempted to buy these. I think they look pretty, but I just don't need them. I have a lot of blushes already. I just recently did a blush declutter. I did not declutter enough of them. Still have way too many. It's just a fact of life at this point that I've had to accept. I'm just probably always going to have more blushes than I need, and I'm okay with that because I do love blushes. But aside from these two liquid blushes that I have a nice warm toned one and a cooler toned one. I have plenty of stick and potted cream blushes as well that I enjoy using, and I have all different tones. Every tone I could honestly need, so I'm really not feeling very tempted by these, but they look really cute, and I feel like they came out with a nice range of shades, so I will give them that. So this is not really a new release, but I did want to talk about it because it is exciting news in the beauty industry. So Garnier, the massive skincare and hair care brand, recently became certified cruelty-free. They are now Leaping Bunny certified, and they are on Logical Harmony's cruelty-free list. They're on Cruelty-Free Kitties list. So I feel very confident in saying that they are, in fact, cruelty-free. It's become easier and easier for brands to kind of say they're cruelty-free, but not really technically be cruelty-free. So I'm excited to have another really, really huge mainstream brand at our disposal, and it's a brand that's really accessible, I think, to people in other countries, like in Europe. I know a lot of people are really excited because it's now actually an accessible cruelty-free brand for them, but it is worth noting that Garnier is owned by L'Oreal, which is not a cruelty-free company, but Garnier themselves do not test on animals, and I still think it's a really huge step in the right direction that they have gone through all of the they've jumped through all the hoops that they had to go to get that certification, and it's a big deal. So I am hopeful that other brands will follow suit. I did, because I was so excited, I just wanted to celebrate. It felt a lot like when CoverGirl became cruelty-free a couple years ago. I went out and bought their micellar water because everybody loves this, everybody recommends it, so I'm excited to try it out. I've actually never used a micellar water before. I tried it for the first time last night, and I'm not sure I fully understand how to use it, so if anybody has any tips. My understanding is that it's essentially a makeup remover that you can use almost as like your first cleanse. I typically do a double cleanse with an oil-based cleanser, but this is like another thing you can do to remove your makeup and sunscreen, so let me know your favorite ways to use this. Am I overcomplicating it? Is it actually super simple? I'm not sure. But I put it on like a reusable cotton round from Seabay, and it did an okay job, but I still think I prefer my oil cleanser, but let me know if you have any advice for me there. But that's really exciting news, and just as a reminder though, like, if you're excited that they're cruelty-free, that doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy from them. I mean, they're a huge company. They're gonna be okay without your money, but I just felt like showing them some support, and I was just excited to be able to buy from them now, but don't feel like you need to go and throw all your money at them because, they're a huge corporation. They're going to be okay. But that is really exciting. I also am excited to try their hair care. Some of their shampoos and conditioners look really nice, and they're so affordable. So once I run out of some of my current hair products, I will be probably trying out some of theirs. So if you have any other product recommendations from Garnier, let me know down below because I'm very excited to shop from them now. Also, do you guys notice anything different about the lighting, the color of my video? So it's a very subtle change, but there is something different if you haven't noticed yet. We painted the wall in this room. It used to be a very, very yellowy off-white color, and I painted it to a much cooler white. It's almost like the lightest possible gray you could imagine, and it's like a very blue-based white, and I cannot believe the difference in just like the color balance of my videos now. I always struggle to get my camera to not look yellow, and I didn't realize that it was the color of the walls that were probably causing that issue for so long, so I'm very excited. It seems like such a minor change to go from one shade of white to another shade of white, but wow, has it made a difference. So I also asked you guys on my Instagram if you had any new releases you wanted me to talk about in this video. A lot of people wanted me to talk about the e.l.f. Chipotle Collection. Another one that got quite a few mentions was the new brand Merit. They are a new brand that recently launched at Sephora, and they are cruelty-free and I believe 100% vegan, so that's cool. And their whole thing is kind of like minimalist beauty, makeup that doesn't look like makeup kind of thing, which I'm all about. They actually offered to send me PR, and I was not a fan of the way that went over, so I ended up turning down the PR, and it honestly left a really bad taste in my mouth, and I've kind of lost interest in the brand. From what I've heard in reviews so far is the products are nice, but they're just kind of overpriced, and especially the foundation stick, which is one of the main things that I was curious about. It's sort of like a stick that you can like target in different areas of your face to just kind of give yourself coverage where you need, but it's meant to just sort of let your skin show through and breathe, which sounds awesome, but it's like a very small amount of product for the price. The stick comes with 0.13 ounces of product compared to your standard foundation is typically an ounce, and it's $38. So it just seems really expensive for what you're getting. So it's something that I would definitely not buy with my own money. I was interested in trying the brand if they sent me stuff. Because I mean, why not? But the reason why I did not accept the PR was because in order to get PR from them, I had to like sign a contract, which is not usually the way that that works. I've never had to sign a contract for a PR package. Part of the contract was to sign over my usage rights for any content that I created using their products. So essentially they would own my content. It just felt a little icky to me, and I told them like, this seems weird, you know, I really hope you guys will reconsider. And they just kind of doubled down. So I ended up turning that down. Didn't exactly give me a whole lot of confidence in the brand, I guess, because that just seems like a really cheap way to get advertising out of creators. So I'm not into that brand, I'll just tell you right now. Another new Sephora brand though is the brand LYS Beauty. This is a new Black-owned brand. They are also cruelty-free, and I saw that they're on Logical Harmony's cruelty-free list. So this is a brand that I'm very interested in trying. I will be adding some things to my wish list. They've got foundations, a lip oil, a primer, a cream blush, a bronzer, and they're all in these really pretty triangular compacts, which I just think is kind of fun and different. They've got some brushes, so I think I'm really interested in the blush. It's sold out right now, at least on their website. Yeah, I think I'll be adding the blush to my wish list, and maybe the foundation as well, and I will kind of wait to hear some reviews, but they're also available at Sephora, which is really awesome. So that is certainly on my radar, and I'm excited to hear more about the brand as more people kind of try them and review them. But let me know if you guys have tried anything from that brand, or if you plan to pick anything up, and if so, what you're interested in or what you've liked if you have tried them. And then another Black-owned brand that is just always on my radar, always and forever, is Klarity Kosmetics. I love their magnetic single shadows. I just placed another order with them for a couple more shades, and they're also launching a metallic loose pigment that looks stunning, and it immediately went on my wish list as soon as I saw it, so I will be buying that. So I'm not sure yet when it will launch. I think for now it just says it's launching soon, so I will be keeping an eye out for that. But that looks so pretty, and y'all know I love my like foiled shadows, and I think that a loose pigment is a really smart format for that, because you know, a lot of times those metallic foiled shadows will be in like, you know, a ColourPop Super Shock shadow or something similar that's sort of creamy, and those eventually will dry out, whereas a loose powder or a pressed powder is going to stay good for many years. Oh, and same with like liquid eyeshadows like the Stila Shimmer and Glows and Glitter and Glows. Those dry out super quickly. So I am starting to move towards just sticking to like powders whenever I can, and yeah, I definitely will be picking at least one of those up. A brand that is newly on my radar is BH Cosmetics. For the longest time, I have just never tried them. They are Leaping Bunny certified though, and my friend Alex, who sent me her e.l.f. Earthen Ocean palette, also sent me a few other things, including their Belgian Waffle face palette. And I'm wearing this on my face today, mainly just this lightest bronzer and this middle highlight here called Syrup. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but look at that highlighter. It is so smooth, and it just kind of like it like meshes with my skin so quickly and seamlessly. It's a beautiful formula. So BH Cosmetics is now on my radar, and I really want to try something from them. One thing that's been getting a little bit of buzz here and there is their new Birthstone palettes. They're releasing a new palette every month inspired by that month's birthstone, which I think is a pretty interesting idea. Last year, I think it was, they had their Zodiac collection. So my birthday isn't until December, so I'll have to kind of wait around and see what mine will look like. But December is turquoise, right? I think it has two. There's turquoise and like blue zircon. So, I don't know. I do like blue eyeshadow, so I will be keeping an eye out for that. And I think it's a fun idea, but they also just have a lot of fun looking eyeshadow palettes. So now that I've tried this face palette, I'm interested in trying more from them. Someone recommended to me their Lost in Los Angeles palette because it has a lot of like really pretty pastel fun colors, and I'm all about pastels these days. So that one is now on my wish list as well. It's not a new release, or maybe I think it's semi-recent, but if anybody has any BH Cosmetics palettes that you think I would like, that you think I should try, let me know, because I am now very interested in the brand. I think I'm gonna end it there. I had a few other things that I was like thinking about talking about, but that I wasn't quite as excited to talk about, so maybe we'll save those for another video. But those are the main releases that have kind of jumped out at me and that you guys were interested in hearing about. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much again to ShopTagger for sponsoring this video today. I will leave that information linked down below in case it sounds like it would be something helpful to you, but I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you've not already. I'd love to have you. I upload 2 to 3 videos every week, and hopefully I will talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye.